What is going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. We are still in Denver, Colorado at Texas Toast Guitars doing very cool things. In fact, I have this thing right here that, well, we'll just save that and the cool news that's surrounding that right there for the end of this video because you're going to want to know about it. Let's get into some of this other news, but first, let me take us up. No. Hit the like and the subscribe button, please. So, it's NAMM season. We're actually going to the NAMM show, not this coming weekend, but the weekend following this one. But there's going to be a lot of companies that actually aren't going to be there. So some of the stuff that you're going to hear today is actually kind of their NAMM releases, but they're not actually going to the NAMM show, which is sort of interesting. I'm curious to see how it's actually going to be when we get there, who's there, who's not, all that kind of stuff, how exciting it's really going to be because, let's just face it, it's been a little off the last couple years, so we'll see. First of all, Crazy Tube Circuits has a new boost pedal. It's a 4-in-1 called the Super Conductor. Now the cool thing about this is it is made to where the input and output impedances of all these things, the voltages, everything, are all different for each of the 4 circuits contained within. What that means is that these 4 different boost circuits are going to work differently with your volume pedal or with your volume knob and how you play the guitar and how you set it up in front of the amp. Because let's talk about what each one of them are. The RM, the EP, the MA, and the MF. So the RM is the Range Master, the old school germanium treble booster. That's going to act a certain way, obviously, treble booster. The EP is the preamp sort of version section of the old Echoplex. So a lot of people used to use the Echoplex delay, but not the delay part, the actual front end of it as a boost, which is a very unique thing. The MA is kind of a take on MXR's micro amp, which is a super popular and pretty unique boost, actually. And the MF is the MOSFET style circuit from the ZVEX boost. So all 4 of these things acting differently in one box. Pretty cool pedal, in my opinion, because boosts in front of an amp, I think that it's probably one of the most important pedals you could have. Tell you the truth. Universal Audio is obviously known for some pretty high-end stuff. They've come out with this new range of pedals called the UAFX. So basically what this is they're trying to basically come out with amp emulators in pedal form. So there's 3 different ones. There's the Dream 65, the Ruby 63, and the Woodrow 55. Basically what we're trying to go for here is with the Dream 65, like a Fender Twin sort of thing, the Ruby 63, the sort of AC30 sort of thing, and the Woodrow 55, basically an old Tweed Deluxe-ish sort of deal. Now the thing about these is, this is not like a Kemper or something, this is a pedal, but it has UA's sort of extensive knowledge in speaker modeling. If you recall, the Universal Audio aux box is probably one of the most powerful tools in a studio playing a real amp into speaker emulators. They are really, really good at this, and so bringing this to a pedal form, it just meant to happen at this point. And these things, well, we're going to talk about another one. This isn't the only one in the news today. So check out Universal Audio's UAFX. There's a bunch of reviews coming out on them on the websites and stuff. You'll see them all over the place in the next couple of weeks, I think. One of the NAMM, but not going to NAMM brands is 2 Notes. They are coming out with their Revolt guitar and bass amp simulator pedals. Now, again, same thing we just talked about, but different. So we've got all of the stuff we just kind of talked about. So it's going to have, your IRs. It's going to have switchable IRs. There's actually a switch on the front of the pedal. It's interesting. There's a bunch of in-out for 4-wire. There's a bunch of in-out for, effects loops, all that sort of stuff. But the cool thing about this is they've got 12AX7 preamp tubes in them. So they're really trying to put this whole amp in a box thing in a little different way than everybody else. You're going to see a lot more of this melding between tube and analog and digital to try to get us the most natural sound in a pedal on your pedal board without a huge rig, and also incorporating more digital technology. And for those of you that don't like this stuff, this ain't 1985 anymore. This stuff is getting pretty dang good. Speaking of more stuff along these lines, I mean, it's like the whole theme of today really is Tech 21 with their Sansamp series. So they got this new series of Tech 21 called Sansamps called Character Plus. So what they're doing with these is they're putting an amp and pedal combinations together. So they've got a few different ones here. We've got the Screaming Blonde, which is you're gonna take like a Fender and a Tube Screamer, which makes a lot of sense. You've got the English Muffy, which is a big muff and a high watt. You've got the Fuzzy Brit, which is a Marshall and a fuzz face sort of thing. And the Mop Top Liverpool, which makes sense, that you would have the AC30 and then that Rangemaster that we talked about earlier. This whole thing's really cool. Everybody's doing this. To put this kind of stuff into a carryable package that sounds great for playing gigs and in the studio. I'll leave a link to as much of this stuff as I can find in the description. Some of it is going to be NAMM related and maybe it's not totally out yet, but as much of those stuff as I can find, I'll put it in the description. And please do me a favor and use those links if you can, because it does help out the channel. I do appreciate it when you do use them. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does keep us going just a little bit. In more NAMM, not NAMM news, Cort has added 3 new acoustic electric guitars to its Core series. These are going to have Fishman pickups in them, and of course they're Corts, so they're going to be probably relatively affordable, accessible for most people, and they are very, very nice. They're going to have a grand auditorium, a dreadnought, and a parlor. And in the photos, they look really pretty. And of course, you're going to have Fishman electronics. I think these are going to be a pretty accessible and cool option for a lot of people. Earlier in the year, EVH had announced the Wolfgang WG Standard. Well, I think it's actually out now. It's got a gold sparkle finish. I think we've got a Floyd on here, the EVH Floyd Special Bridge with EVH Wolfgang humbuckers and gold sparkle. I mean, gold sparkle is gold sparkle, so there you go. Fender Japan is up to their normal wackiness because they always come up with wacky combinations of things made out of Fender parts. So this one is the Fender Japan Wild Hybrid 2 HSS Stratocaster. It has a Telecaster peghead on it. So, basically what we have here is a single hum Strat with a Tele neck on it backwards. Do you want one? Let me know. Get in the comments. Would you play this guitar? This is so not traditional, but still kind of fun. I'd be down. A few months ago, Fender announced the Hammertone. No, they're not called Hammertone. That's Hammertone series of pedals. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. They're like $79 and $99, so super affordable. And they have a hammered finish, thus the Hammer Time reference. Okay. But yeah, there's a bunch of them. That's all we really could say about that. But they don't have a couple. So let's see. The list is distortion, overdrive, delay, reverb, fuzz, metal, chorus, flanger, and space delay. And there is talk of a tremolo and a phaser being added, but we're not 100% sure about that. These things are pretty affordable. I just saw John Bollinger do a review on these the other day. They seem pretty cool. I'll leave a link to these in the description below as well. So, as you can see, obviously, we're at Texas Toast Guitars. In fact, Matt is right there. Just walked in this morning and he's making a cameo appearance in the back of the video as we speak. One of the cool things that's happening right now, like right now, is he is working on adding to his class lineup a new thing. And just to give you a little teaser of it, here's the neck that's going to go on a guitar. Wood, Sweat, and Beers. Brotherhood of Guitar Building. Look at the back. How about that? So, there's going to be more details about this now. You can see this is a very fancy, tricky neck with lots of cool things. In collaboration with Texas Toast Guitars, we are working on a thing where you'll be able to come and wind pickups as part of a guitar building course here at Texas Toast Guitars in Colorado on a fairly regular basis. So if this is something that you're interested in, to come in on Monday and leave Friday with guitar that you completed, with pickups that you wound. Details more on that coming out later this week. But stay tuned to this channel and to Texas Toast Guitars YouTube channel for more details on it, because I think this is going to be one of the coolest things that Matt and I have ever talked about having coffee in the morning. So make sure you check out the live streams on Thursday. Now here's something cool that we're doing. We decided to call this what? Primetime Guitar on Thursday evenings. And it's actually going to start at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on Flipside Music's YouTube channel. Flipside Music, the great American guitar store in Denver, Colorado, has a pretty cool YouTube channel. They do all kinds of stuff about guitar demos and pedal demos and stuff. They're super pedal centric. So since I'm not, I think that's very cool. So make sure you tune into their channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Directly following that, at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, is going to be the live stream on Texas Toast YouTube channel, where we're going to tell you more about this really cool neck I just showed you and some other stuff. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern Time is my YouTube channel. It's live stream, our normal FAQ and fun stuff that we do every Thursday. We're calling it Primetime Guitar, so that you have an entire evening of cool guitar stuff to, partake in. Let me know what you think in the comments of an idea like that, and let me know if there's any content you want to see as a part of that, because it's something that we're experimenting with. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow night.